as long as I live, I never want to hear another word from a Trump supporter about DEI, affirmative action, or meritocracy after they voted for Donald Trump to be the first person ever elected president with no experience in government or military, voted for him again in 2024 as the first convicted felon ever elected president, allowed J.D. Vance to become vice president with no experience in elected office until last year, and now picked a white Fox News host to replace a black four-star general as Secretary of Defense. And for Attorney General, the nation's top law enforcement officer, they picked an insurrectionist who had to abruptly resign from Congress this week to stop the release of an ethics report after allegations of misappropriating campaign funds for personal expenses, illegal drug use, sharing sex videos on the House floor, sleeping with a 17-year-old, and child sex trafficking. It's not about qualifications. America's never cared about qualifications or meritocracy. For white people, they only bring that up with black people, women, and any other group of people they dislike at the moment. If you're a straight white male or politically conservative, they couldn't care less about your qualifications. And don't give me any lip about women and people of color in the Republican Party. They are an afterthought who only exist to own the libs and must subscribe to the GOP's hierarchy of patriarchal white supremacy. This is how Republicans play identity politics. If Democrats get a woman, they'll find a woman. If Democrats get a black person, they'll find a black person. As long as the woman or black person follows their narrow conservative political beliefs, their qualifications don't matter. That's why they picked unqualified Clarence Thomas to replace the legendary Thurgood Marshall of the Supreme Court in 1991. Why they picked unqualified Alan Keyes, a random black guy from Maryland, to run against Barack Obama for the U.S. Senate seat in Illinois in 2004. Why they rushed to find unqualified Sarah Palin from Alaska after Senator Hillary Clinton got 18 million votes in 2008. Why they rammed through Amy Coney Barrett after only 3 years as a judge to replace the legendary Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the nation's highest court before the presidential election in 2020. And why they picked retired football player Herschel Walker to run against Senator Raphael Warnock for U.S. Senate in 2022. Vice President Kamala Harris had federal, state, and local experience and worked with all three branches of government, and they still called her unqualified. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson graduated from Harvard undergrad, Harvard Law, clerked for a Supreme Court justice, served on the U.S. Sentencing Commission, a federal district court, and a federal appellate court, was the first former public defender to join the U.S. Supreme Court, and had more experience than any other justice in the court when they were nominated, but they still claimed she was unqualified. They called the duly elected mayor of Baltimore the DEI mayor just because he was black and happened to be in office at the time of bridge collapse. And they called Biden's entire cabinet a DEI cabinet just because he picked experienced, qualified leaders who weren't all straight white men. This is the delusional brainwashing of white supremacy. And for the Tim Scotts and Byron Donalds and black and brown enablers who occupy the lowest plank of the totem pole in the Republican Party, don't think they won't come for you if you ever dare to grow a backbone and step out of line. To paraphrase Jay-Z's use of the N-word in a way that won't get me censored on this platform: light black, dark black, faux black, real black, rich black, poor black, house black, field black.
Welcome to another episode of Seen and Heard podcast, and my co-host, Miss Kenneth. This is a post-mortem of how we're feeling. This is a check-in, especially for Black women, on how we're feeling after the election. I'm still not okay, but I mean, we still have to keep going and try to figure out where we go from here. How are you feeling, Miss Kenneth?
I feel great.
What were your thoughts on that? Because the way I agree with him, because basically what they're doing is rushing through and mainstreaming mediocrity.
So he told the truth. I thought it was well put together. It looks like he did a lot of research, and he did an amazing job of racking and stacking and staring and comparing at qualified v unqualified. I thought he did an amazing job. As far as how am I feeling, I feel fine. We keep blaming Donald Trump. Donald Trump did not put himself in the Oval Office, and we have to look at that. There's an exit poll on Statistica.com where it shows about 55% of all Euro-Americans in that exit poll voted for Donald Trump. About the same number, about 55 Latinos voted for Donald Trump. About 39% of all Asians voted for Donald Trump. And this one literally blows me out of the water. About 60 to 65% of indigenous Native Americans eligible to vote voted for Donald Trump. Only about 13%. Yeah, I think that's it. Only about 13% I don't think that's the same. It might be, yeah. It's a flip of the way I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Only about 13% of African Americans voted for Donald Trump. So we are where we are because we want to be where we are. And if you look at the map is bleeding red all over. What about 30 states or so voted red across the board? And last but not least, all those Euro American women who run around crying about reproductive rights. Last time I was on here, I told you, don't nobody care about no reproductive rights. They don't want to be pregnant and barefoot or barefoot and pregnant. However, when it came down to it, they didn't vote for reproductive rights. They voted to make sure that they kept black people more than anybody else, kept us in check. And that's what this is all about. And there aren't enough black people in the diaspora to beat Donald Trump at the polls. There just aren't enough. 47 million of us, we can do nothing. So we have to look at where the problem is. The problem is with the Democrats. And the Democrats did not have to wait until 100 days out before the election to hobble along acting like they had a strategic plan. They should have had a strategic plan 12 years ago. They should have had a strategic plan when the Tea Party came on the scene. They have had nothing. And the Democrats are at fault. I blame them for the mess we're in. And instead of them fessing up that they take responsibility for it, I'm still getting text messages and emails from Dems asking for more money to help them fight Donald Trump and keep Donald Trump's administration intact. I'm not giving up another penny. I don't care. You cannot ask me for money. The Dems. Today I got about 10 emails asking for $5, $25 to help keep Donald Trump and his administration intact. It's too late now.
And not only that, what are they going to do? All they're doing, like from what I saw, which makes me so angry, these sternly worded tweets and posts and stuff like that. Like Elizabeth Warren yesterday, she's tweeting something about this is corruption, and she's explaining what the corruption is with Trump. Yet we don't have the power to do anything about said corruption. We tried that at the ballot and or at the polls. And so these politicians, Dem politicians specifically, Schumer, all of them, Warren, posting these. Okay, well, do something. That's I go to the comments and I read the comments up under that. Everybody's under there. Well, do something. Do something. Why are you sending out sternly worded tweets and posts? Do something.
Well, how can they do something? They don't have a plan. That's why if they put enough emails and text messages out there, we are working, but we can't do it by ourselves. We need you to give us $25. Well, if I gave all I can give to support candidates I believe in, I have no more money. Stop asking me for more money. You don't have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, then say you don't have a plan. Because they do not have a plan.
Well,
They don't have a plan.
what little power we do have, look here, the numbers. All we had to do is turn them off. I get that we had to watch the news to keep up with the progress and what was going on up until election and everything. Immediately after election, everybody turned them off. And here we have total daily viewership for MSNBC fell 51%, while viewership for CNN dropped by 26%. That's an additional. And then Fox dominates. Fox was brought up on charges for lies, pushing the big lie, and they're dominating all of the other news platforms because we've turned them off because they basically chose a side. NPR. I grew up with NPR. I thought that would be the last reasonable outlet for news, but they're all in on coddling and normalizing and saying washing the insanity of Trump and his regime. And people
So
got fed up and turned them off.
so let's look at it another way. I can tell the truth and run the risk of being ostracized or criminalized by Donald Trump, the king/dictator. So which one am I going to do? Tell the truth and run the risk of being ostracized and criminalized by Donald Trump because you look at what he's done in a week. The dude is running crazy in 1 week. And for me, one of the most bizarre things is for him to tell the Senate to let him select his appointees, bypass the confirmation, bypass the confirmation, and do the on vacation appointments so
Hmm.
that when everybody is gone, he'll just have a grand old time. Well, they have a congressional trifecta. They control everything. So whatever Donald Trump wants, Donald Trump is going to get. Now, do you think Fox or any of look at Washington Post, look at LA Times. They sat on the sideline because
Hmm.
they do not want the wrath of Donald Trump coming down on them. They don't want that. So,
Well, they've lost their subscribers too, so they're just sitting there on their piles of money, and I guess they're gonna shut those outlets down because their readers are not reading them anymore.
who
They're not
cares
subscribing to them.
if they are on Donald Trump's side? Donald Trump is going to do what he needs to do to take care of them. If they only have one reader, Donald Trump is still going to do what Donald Trump needs to do to take care of him. Look at Elon Musk.
Yeah,
There's no way he should have an appointment. Government efficiency? Oh,
I
come on.
mean, they're
And
making up. That's what I said. They are all in on mediocrity. They are mainstreaming mediocrity. People that are unqualified. They moved the goalposts. They saw
well,
how.
look
Yeah,
at Elon Musk. Word on the street is he lied on his immigration papers. Now we have a sister in Baltimore, the Honorable Marilyn Mosby, a young sister. They put her in the seat of state's attorney, told her to go clean up the egregiousness that's taking place with law enforcement and the court system. But she did it. She went to buy a house and she was taking out a mortgage, one property against the other property. And according to them, she lied about
mm.
her finances. This sister's on house arrest. And,
She's
and, and
still on house arrest.
she's still on house arrest.
Oh my goodness, that was last year. That happened last year.
She's going to be on house arrest until sometime next year. And the Euro Americans are demanding that she go to prison for life. And some of her own people are saying, yeah, she needs to pay for what she did. So let me just be really clear here. Adam Schiff of California did pretty much the same thing. On his mortgage application, he made some faux pas, I'll say. Well, they took it, put it to the side, called him and said, we know just how busy you are, and you made a few, inaccuracies on your application. So when you get a chance, stop in the office and we'll take care of that. But the sister, they done wrecked her through the coals. So when we talk about, who's paying the price, if it's been proven that Elon Musk lied on his immigration application, I think he should be mass deported out of here.
And unfortunately,
I think his behind ought to be mass deported out here, whether he has gotten paperwork or not, because obviously it's inappropriate and he got it by nefarious means.
well, we have no AG, we have no functioning DOJ because if we did, Merrick Garland, he's kept his head in the sand all this time now. He's getting ready to be replaced by Matt Gaetz.
Well, Matt Gates's history is so ugly,
Yeah.
and was he not one of the ones on January 6th?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, just
Yeah.
want to be sure.
Yeah.
So here's somebody who, for all intents and purposes, is a traitor. Benedict Arnold would call him a traitor, but he getting ready to be the highest decision maker in the Department of Justice. Allegedly, he's been chasing down behind 17-year-old girls. Allegedly, he's been showing porn
Mm.
around, having a good time showing porn. He has no respect for the system nor the law, as does Donald Trump not have any respect for any of those things that we say are the founding principles of this country. So, what do you expect Donald Trump to do. Donald Trump is just doing that because he knows nobody can stop him. He is
right?
unstoppable.
That part, and the fact that I think he had a case that was actually they dismissed the case last night about the 17-year-old. So then he gets the appointment, or he's going to get the appointment. So yeah, Adam Schiff and all those people, we're on our own. We're on our own. We never Merrick Garland never planned on upholding the law, which now means absolutely nothing. The phrase "no one's above the law" is a lie. Um, and what's the other phrase that they try to use to throw in our faces, the regular people? Is no one's above the law, and justice. What's the other one?
No, justice denied is justice delayed or whatever. I'm not sure.
Well, Well, there is one joyous thing that I've been seeing that's actually been getting me laughing for the last couple of days is the FA&FO, the FIFO stories of MAGAs being cut off by their families and friends, and I want to play this video because there's going to be a lot more. There's actually a lot more of this, but we're not going to have time to play it all. But we'll start a series so we can play this FA&FO stories, and this is actually really, really funny, but I'm going to play this video because this is the only joy since November 5th that I've been finding some kind of semblance of cheeriness and joy. So here, I'm going to play this so you can get some joy.
I doubt it.
It is my last political post, okay? I'm going to lay it to rest. Let me just tell you guys. I'm not crying happy tears. I'm not going to be apologetic for being excited because if it was the other way around, all of the Kamala supporters would celebrate. I want to say that first. I'm very relieved because I voted what I believe in, and I felt heavy on my heart that it's the right thing. So knowing that it was the decision the American people made, I'm relieved and I'm very happy. Very, very happy, okay? It's the very first day of finding out the election results. All of us are happy. I'm very happy, but I'm not going to continue to post about it, but I'm also not going to be sorry about it. And I always talked about how my family, sorry, I don't want to make this more than once. I always talked about how my family had different beliefs, my grandma and my mom and my sister, and how we always got along. And I wore my grandma's sweater to go out, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to cry, okay? But my heart's broken.
Try not to cry.
Yeah, try it. My grandma sent me a very sad text. It broke my heart. And my mom has yet to text me back today. My point of making this video is to say that I am very happy, and I expressed how happy I was. And I'm not going to be sorry for that. I'm completely heartbroken that my family is taking it how they are. I never did this to them when Biden won. Never. But I am done with political posts. From here on out, it's back to normal. If you don't like me because of who I voted for and you have to unfollow, go ahead. My own family unsubscribed from my life, so you can too. I promise. It doesn't get worse than that.
Now, the difference between when Biden won and this time is that Biden did not run on taking away people's rights. He tried his best to protect people's rights. So that's the big difference here.
Personally, if I close my eyes, I probably couldn't tell Biden from Trump. So that's my personal opinion.
Dude, I agree.
My second thought is I'm so happy I was not in the kitchen with her because I would have smacked her until she was as red as fingernail polish on her fingernails. Such drama, such a waste of my time. I timed it. What a waste of my time. I don't care if your family don't want to own you because you stupid and you made a dumb butt decision. Then I applaud them. I salute them. Good choice. Good decision. And so you wore your grandmama's sweater to vote. Who cares? I wore somebody's grandmama's sweater to vote too. It came from a thrift store. I don't know whose grandmama's sweater it was. So what's the big deal? Such drama. Such a waste of my time.
But that was just an example of like the almost hundreds of videos I've been seeing. Oh, here's another one. Let's take a look at this video. This was from Dearborn. I want to get your reaction to this on the other side.
Okay.
It looks like ethnic cleansing. It sounds like ethnic cleansing. It's an ethnic cleansing campaign in Gaza and the West Bank and southern Lebanon. And Mike Huckabee was just named as the guy who's going to oversee the final stages of that campaign. And so our message right now is to President Biden, you've got to do something about this. President Biden, stand up for once to Netanyahu before Donald Trump successfully gets away with pinning this legacy of this ethnic cleansing campaign on you and you alone forevermore.
So that was the leader of the uncommitted movement that said was several other videos I saw. Like it was a female Muslim leader. She was saying, "Do not give your vote to Kamala Harris." She said, "Vote for Trump or don't vote at all, but do not give your vote to Kamala Harris." Well, he and that lady are part of the same group, uncommitted, that are now begging for him to do something because of what's coming.
So, my take on this is, personally, I think this falls squarely on Joe Biden's shoulders. I think it should be dropped in his lap like a hot potato. And I think that the history books should show him as being the person who has perpetrated the continuation of the devastation and the genocide and the mass destruction of people of Palestine. That is my personal opinion, because at any time, Joe Biden, all he had to do was withhold money, military equipment, drones, army supplies, whatever, all else. Because if he had withheld all of that on October 31st, 2023, we would not be here today, and there would not be 150 plus thousand Palestinians / people from Gaza, people from the West Bank who have been injured. There would not be over 2 million or so starving and unable to get the humanitarian support that they need. And there would not be 50,000 deaths because of this man's maniacal personality, because of this man's I'm gonna say it, Hitler-like personality. We all sitting there talking about Hitler. I don't see the difference between Netanyahu and the behavior of the Third Reich. That's just my opinion. That's why I asked you to take my last name off. People,
well, and all of us, yeah, we're all actually in danger of our First Amendment now, thanks to this new regime coming in. But on that, I'm getting ready to leave Twitter. For those out there, for my listeners or viewers out there that are on Twitter, I'm actually getting ready to leave Twitter. I did make a Blue Sky account. You see it here scrolling across the bottom. I don't ever use IG anyway, so I'm gonna completely delete IG. Facebook I can't leave right off right now, but I will be deactivating my Twitter sometime soon, not like right off. And then also TikTok, this is a reminder, they will be officially banned on January the 19th. It was January 19th. I think I said a few videos back that it was like February, but no, it's January 19th. TikTok will be gone, because if I was the Chinese government, I would not sell my algorithm to the United States. And on top of that, I believe that I don't think that the intelligence community, I don't think they're going to be getting a lot of intelligence from other countries anymore when he finally gets into office. That's just my opinion. I don't believe that they're going to get intelligence.
They wouldn't know what to do with it if they got it.
So on that, we will close out until the next one. We're gonna, and it took me this long to get together. So
So I have one more thing I want to say.
okay.
So Donald Trump announced that he is going to um, do redress, restitution, and reparations to white people
Hmm.
because they are indeed the victims of racism. Nobody else is a victim of racism but them. And he is going to compensate them for their injuries. That is the biggest joke ever that I have ever seen and or heard. However, by any means necessary, this dude is going to take care of those people who put him in office. And I gotta say this. If you look around the Young Turks as an example, they've been out interviewing people about why did you vote for Donald Trump? And let me tell you, they some dumb, ignorant people. Some of the stuff they say about why they voted for Donald Trump. The dumbest too. This one guy said he loves Donald Trump so much that if Donald Trump stood on the White House steps and murdered somebody, he would still love Donald Trump and support him. This other one said, well, God wrote the Bible. Donald Trump is a good Christian. He has Christian spirit in his heart. He raised his children to be good Christians, and his grandchildren are good Christians. When they told him that Donald Trump's grandchildren are Jewish, the woman was like, she couldn't believe it. She's like, oh, no, 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 they're Christians. So the people who put this man in office are a bunch of idiots. They're a bunch of illiterate idiots. So as far as I'm concerned,
And then speaking of let me see. I'm trying to find this video of it was a black guy that was talking, and I think I saw the comments up under the Young Turks. But no, so I want to let me play this video real quick. This video is with this black MAGA guy. So I want you. These people are just so. I mean, we're beyond the cult, and then like I said, the media is at fault for helping to normalize this and saying wash it, and that's why I believe this is a lot of the reason we're where we're at also. So
so
this
so
video
so
right here,
well, I hope
let's see.
I hope
MAGA
that
family, I
much
was on
like
TikTok Live, and a fellow Trump supporter said that
Okay, here, let's
I'm
see.
black, I'll never be accepted, but he just got my vote. Nah, that's crazy. Like, I love MAGA Nation, I love the MAGA family, and that breaks my heart that someone would speak to me like that right after the election, that all I was a vote? Nah, I love all you guys, and I know most of you MAGA family members are not racist, and I love you guys, and I'll keep repping MAGA Nation, Trump 2024, but that really broke my heart that some guy would say that. Extremely heartbroken.
It's a sickness. I mean, I don't know.
so here's what I hope. I hope that there is a mass movement of Donald Trump getting all of his minions to travel to all the places where on the map it's bleeding red. Take a few vats of great Kool-Aid with them, and everybody get together in the public market square and drink the grape Kool-Aid.
Have a
That's
Jim
what I
Jones
hope.
party.
Have a Jim Jones party. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. I hope that Donald Trump wants to test their loyalty and have a Jim Jones party.
Well, in the meantime, we're still fundraising. Please support our programming. If you like our programming, we'll have the donation links in the description. And we have merchandise, which I'm getting the season 3. This is season 2, but I'm getting one of the season 3 cups tomorrow, so I can show that off to you. We have merchandise as well, donations that will be greatly appreciated, and it will help us so much with the programming. And I will see you guys on the next show. Bye, Miss Kitties.
Later.